Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me on the Slice of Healthcare podcast. I'm your host, Jared Taylor. Today I'm here with Alessandra Henderson, the co-founder and CEO at Elektra Health. How are you today?
Doing very well. Thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. I'm excited for us to chat. I think we should dive right into it. I'd love if you could tell the audience a little bit about your background, and then we'll talk more about your company.
Sure. So very briefly, I have been in and around the startup community for the better part of about 12 years now. Actually have a humanities background and came into startups through art. You might actually see the artwork in the background, the well-placed, well-positioned, I should say. But yeah, came in, started my career in art and technology as a sixth employee at Artsy, which is putting the $66 billion art market online. Spent a couple of years there, earning my stripes in early stage startups. From there, I went to business school, and then for several years prior to Elektra, was in the early stage startup space. Actually founded the MIT Startup Studio, as well as at Human Ventures. So really, early stage building is in my DNA and largely in the consumer health space. Before moving into and ultimately founding Elektra in 2019. So excited to share our Elektra story with everyone.
I was going to ask you about the painting. I like it.
Yeah, it's not me. I want to clarify that my ego is not that large. It was actually done by a friend in high school. So she was brilliant, above and beyond her years. And, the similarity is maybe a little bit too close, but it's not me.
Was this something did she go through the art company at the time? The marketplace?
No, she's her name's Jana. She painted that when she was 13. So this is from many years ago. She's brilliant. She's an artist today. I'm sure her artworks are on Artsy. I actually haven't checked, but Artsy has done incredibly well. Their mission was to make art accessible to anyone with an internet connection. It doesn't. To go from art to menopause or to digital health, sounds like a funny journey, but there's actually a lot of parallels that I find between the art world and the healthcare world. Most notably, antiquated industry, highly fragmented, and oftentimes really indiscernible to customers. But excited to see what technology has done to kind of unlock art, health, and of course, so many other industries.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited now. Can we start off by giving us, I guess, I like to focus on the why, how, what of Elektra Health, and then we'll talk more about menopause.
Sure. So, why am I building Elektra Health? It really, the origin story is through a personal hormonal health journey of my own. I think so many founders today who are building in digital health and especially consumer health had that personal experience and are ready to change the system. It really started several years ago. I was getting quite sick and learning to navigate the healthcare system myself. Ultimately discovered integrative medicine and was a really great journey for me. I also I froze my eggs in 2017, which I only bring up because the hormones from egg freezing actually impacted my eyesight, which, I oftentimes get that reaction. It seems like such a kind of out there byproduct of hormones, but, women have estrogen receptors all over our bodies. There's, anywhere between 100 to 300 estrogen receptors. And all over our body, eyes being one of them. And we'll talk a little bit about this, but hormones impact brain, heart, gut, our full well woman being. Anyway, it was truly kind of my aha moment of the importance of hormones and the importance of educating women about our hormones and how to incorporate that into our health. Fast forward several years. Decided to ultimately found Elektra in January 2019 and with a real focus on menopause because while the women's health space is really growing I'm so excited about that. We need more dollars. We need more brilliant brains. We need more people rallying around women's health. But so much of it is really focused on the reproductive years. It really, oftentimes, a lot of this femtech really ignores everything outside of that. Of course, menopause being an incredibly important time in a woman's life. And again, we'll get a little bit into what menopause is, but ultimately took the plunge to found Elektra with the goal, our mission statement from day one has been to smash the menopause taboo. And we do that through our 3 pillars. The first one is education, evidence-based education to help women understand what menopause is and what they can do about it. Second pillar is care. And that means access to experts, whether through telemedicine or just connecting with a really smart person who can answer questions that we have vetted. And thirdly is community. It's such a important time of life, and we hear from women that it's very lonely. And so it's really important to us to connect women, not only for support, but of course that kind of knowledge sharing that happens for the literally 50 million women who are currently navigating this. You shouldn't have to do that alone. And so we have brought these 3 pillars together under one platform. I have an incredible co-founder, Janine Versey, who comes from the healthcare space. Most recently, she was VP of Clinical Operations at City Block Health, so she knows how to build a digital health business like nobody's business. And then our third third leg of our founding stool is our founding physician, Dr. Anna Barbieri, who brings in that clinical expertise to make sure everything is evidence-based and rooted in science.
Quite the team, yeah. Especially, I get really excited too whenever I hear City Block. And you were what I tend to see with a lot of companies is they'll bring on. Now I know other roles you can get away with this, right? Because there's crossovers, but they'll bring in someone with an operations background, but not someone that was in clinical operations and has already been there, done that, and seen that part of the business. So to have that and a co-founder too is great.
I mean, she's so kick-ass. And I should mention too, sorry, I totally interrupted you, but I love working with her. And so this is my, she's also the daughter of 2 physicians. She's married to a physician. And then actually her father was a urogynecologist. So founded the urogynecology department at the Brigham, at Harvard, Brigham in the 90s. And so as I was looking for a co-founder, I met so many people who are interested in women's health, but that oftentimes really focused again on fertility. The second I met Janine, we spoke for, it was supposed to be an hour. It was 2.5 hours. She knew all about menopause. And so anyway, she was my version of a unicorn to connect with. And so it's been really great to build alongside her. That's
amazing. Well, congrats. And when she watches this, she's going to see your eyes just light up like it's incredible. That's my favorite part about doing the video part of this. It's when you really get excited about something, people's eyes light up and it's like, okay, perfect.
I love our team. And I mean, I'm focusing on her, but our whole team. And we're small but mighty. We're only 4 full-time right now. And we are growing. So that's my my call to action here is, if you're interested in women's health and menopause, please go to our website. We have some open jobs listed.
Well, we can actually lead into that with, you just raised a round of funding, right? And now the lead was 776. Is that right?
We have actually co-leads. So 776, as well as Flair Capital Partners, who they're an excellent healthcare firm located in Boston. So we have we consider to be the best of consumer and healthcare behind us.
No Flair well, yeah. No, who do you know? Ian Chiang at all over there?
I've spoken with Ian. Really such a supportive team. They're really great thought partners on the healthcare side as we navigate from direct to consumer and how we of course grow and scale our platform.
Yeah, that's one that being able to work with those 2 firms is incredible. Especially because I think you have best of both worlds. I don't know. I know more obviously about 776 is fairly new, right? It's something that
Mhm.
Alexis recently launched.
Yeah, Alexis
Um,
Ohanian, so the co-founder of Reddit, and his incredible partner Caitlin, who was actually head of, I'm sure this is, but head of people and culture at Reddit, and who had been looking for a menopause startup to back. So it was an immediate kind of incredible partnership. And again, this is both how we raised 3.75 million in seed funding to invest in team and product. I think it was really important to us, not just with our investors, but just how we think about the business and bringing the best of kind of consumer and healthcare together under one roof.
Absolutely. And just so if anyone's unaware, and they'll go out and look, and I'll tag all of this, but Alexis was previously, I think, the managing partner, or he's very high up at Initialize Capital, mm-hmm. which, I always watch Gary Tan's videos over there on YouTube. He's always putting something out, so we'll give them a shout out as well.
Yeah. They're great, and Coinbase recently, like their portfolio is really amazing. And Alexis, it's fun to work with, not just fun, but really amazing to work with a previous founder or previous operators, right? Who kind of get what it's like to be in the trenches in their early days. And so have loved our, those of course are our co-leads, but we have some other incredible investors behind us as well.
Love it. As you're telling me this, I'm scratching my leg because I have all these mosquito bites. I moved to Florida in January, and there's this thing called no-see-ums or something, where like you literally can't see the bug, but they'll bite you, and it's horrible.
Don't tell me you did the Miami move.
No, I did the Tampa.
Okay.
On the other side of it.
Why Florida?
Just visited here a lot over the years, and I'm big into tennis. I don't go out too much, so when I do, I like it to be really nice. But now it's hurricane season, so we'll see.
I was gonna say it's August, so braving the outdoors. I don't know what the temperature is. I'm in New York, and it's 92 degrees and very humid, so we might actually be facing comparable weather.
You were actually because I'm originally from Boston, and when I moved here in January, and the weather's actually been, I think, warmer where you've been, like that whole area of the Northeast. But
where are you from in Boston?
Right downtown. So I was living right downtown. Originally from Southern New Hampshire, moved out to Boston, and so it was great because I got to meet with like the Flair team and stuff, and just walk down there. But you went to school out there, right?
No, I'm from Boston actually. I'm a masshole.
Okay, all right. It's and only a true
Bostonian can say that on a
no one will ever call themselves that unless they're from there. Okay.
Well, I still have my 617 area code, holding on strong. So though I've been in New York at this point for probably longer, I have a lot of love for Boston. So, and of course the health tech scene up there.
Are you going to go to the health conference out there in October?
We will be in Boston. I think, where we are talking about getting tickets. This is actually to bring the conversation to menopause. October is what I like to call our Super Bowl month. October is World Menopause Month. Specifically, October 18th is World Menopause Day. And so health falls right in the middle of it. So we're really, looking through how we can align, of course, health along with what we're hoping to be is a big kind of awareness and thought leadership day for Elektra.
Very cool. All right. Well, if we're in the area and we can say hello, it'd be great to say hello. We'll see how the conference goes. Hopefully, everything with COVID's in a good place. But you have to be vaccinated to go, so at least there's that. But we shall see. Let's quickly segment as we wrap up. I'd love to talk a little bit more about why menopause is important for women. And then if you can also segment from there, like why is there a taboo around menopause?
Yeah. So just setting maybe a little bit of a baseline of what menopause is, if you give me 30 seconds on that, because I think there's a lot of confusion. So menopause is defined as, it's actually a day in time. It's the point in time at which a woman has not had a period for 12 months. It's kind of an indication of, her reproductive years or kind of behind her. And so it happens on average at the age of 51 in the US. There's a period beforehand that's typically about 5 to 7 years called perimenopause. And this is when most women start to exhibit symptoms. Of course, that happens, in your mid 40s. It's what you most often associate with hot flashes, increased weight gain, insomnia. There are 34 symptoms in total of menopause. And so, it can really impact women in a wide variety of ways. And also about 80% of women report that, quality of life issues around menopause. So, I think just a little bit of that myth busting or making sure that we get the facts down, it happens often, in women start to experience it in their kind of mid 40s. It can last 7 to 10 years, 34 symptoms, huge impact. And it's really, historically speaking, menopause as a topic has been understudied, it's been underfunded, it's been under-researched. It's really, especially in women's health, it's a topic that unfortunately has long been ignored. And then, of course, culturally speaking, women just have not felt comfortable talking about it openly. It's kind of, if you look at just cultural representations of menopause, it's kind of women as old or crazy, hysterical, sweating. Like it doesn't have a lot of positive associations with it. At Elektra, we're really excited to be changing that narrative, and we're redefining this period of life as a time when women can, take stock and start to kind of examine what's going on with their health. It is, of course, a transition and a period of time that, women can oftentimes kind of use this as an opportunity to define how they want to live well for the next, 30 to 40 years. And, while we've talked about some of the quality of life issues, the night sweats and hot flashes and brain fog and weight gain and all these things that you really wouldn't wish upon your worst enemy. It's also a really critically important time in for a woman's long-term health. Estrogen and progesterone, which are the hormones that are most commonly associated with menopause and the reason for exhibiting a lot of these menopausal symptoms, those hormones actually have a real impact on a woman's long-term heart health, bone health, and brain health. Estrogen, protects our bones, it protects our brains, it protects our heart. And so if a woman, at Elektra, we can raise awareness to get a woman to really understand what is going on with her body during this time of life and to start to really take action, whether that's just lifestyle or prescriptions, hormone prescriptions. It can really have an impact on that woman's, again, long-term, both longevity and long-term health. And so, there's so much to dig into. I know we're kind of edging towards the end of our time here, but it is, I think the headline from this is, it's a huge number of women are impacted by menopause. Unfortunately, it has been understudied and underfunded for too long. But at Elektra, we're really changing that, and we really want women to see this as a time to take stock of what's going on, to speak up and out, and to start looking for solutions. At Elektra, of course, we're here to help women navigate and really build out a plan that can help you live well for not just this moment in time, but for the next 30 to 40 years ahead of her.
And just so the audience knows too, like, this was the first episode. I'd love to have you on again, and we can go deeper into some of these areas, and also maybe get a snapshot of like where you're at, because like there's a lot going on for you right now, right? You literally just closed this round.
Yeah.
It's almost your Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then you have to make all these hires, right? So
Yeah.
what I'll do too is I'll throw in the comments. We can throw in your like hiring link if you want, so that anyone looking at this podcast, if they're interested, can check it out. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and enjoy a Florida weekend, and looking forward to reconnecting, in the coming months as we continue to kind of hit our momentum with this.
See, Tropical Storm Fred's hitting this weekend, so we'll
have fun with Fred.
Thanks.
Thanks so much, Jared. Have a good one.